women have normalized tolerating pain in the name of supporting their marriage.
We don't talk about the rape that happens there.
Can a husband rape a wife?
Si ati kwa sababu nilipea consent mara moja ni lifetime consent. Actually there are no structures around marital rape. To some extent imefika where GBV has been normalized.
GBV imekuwa like the bruises, the wounds that we see on people's faces, the physical violence. That it is not just the physical violence peke yake, but something like emotional violence, economical violence.
Someone might want to know what is economic violence.
Economic violence is denying someone maybe access to or control over resources.
Do you think men can be in a situation where they are going through economical violence?
Kuna kitu inaitwa extortion. Inaweza kutumia na ujuvi.
Okay.
For GBV to happen, power dynamic, there's like a bit of conditioning that goes into it. It's someone who has broken you mentally and how you think about yourself for years and years. So much so that hata kikupiga, it's the least that they have done.
But if you feel like you are exhausted, please do run away.
Haikuwa na any justification ya kuumiza mtu yoyote. Because then we are walking the very thin line between victim blaming and now holding people accountable.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what time you are listening to this episode. My name is June and this is the Urban Online Show. Thank you for staying with us through the episode that we've recorded. Before we start today's episode, I want to mention it out there that most of you are watching our content and you're not subscribing. So kindly support the content so that we can also keep on sharing the stories of young people in informal settlements. With that said, today we are going to be talking about content related to the 16 days of activism, looking at gender-based violence majorly in informal settlements and what young people in informal settlements have somehow normalized and we see them as violence. And with me are guests that are going to help us have that conversation. Of course, Alvin has been here before, and then another guest who is going to introduce herself. You can introduce yourself again, right? Maybe umebadilisha jina over time. But yeah.
Okay, so hi everyone. So my name is Aurelia. I work with and for Positive Young Women Voices, a community-based organization in Dandora that works to advocate for the rights of adolescent girls and young women in their diversity.
Okay.
Hi, June.
Hi.
I'm called Alvin Omondi. I work with SWOP as a paralegal, an assistant paralegal. SWOP is in Kariobangi. We also advocate for the health rights for the vulnerable community, and we also fight for GBV. We are against GBV sana. And what I can say, as we mark the end of the 16 days of activism, we are still creating awareness that GBV is not just a normal thing. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, and talking about normal thing, why are we saying it's not a normal thing? Are people, because most of the time we know GBV, it's not supposed to be tolerated at all. But do you think there's at some point where people started normalizing it in the community, especially in the informal setup? Aurelia.
Okay. Yes. So I think yes, and I feel like to some extent imefika where GBV has been normalized, and some of the things that people do hawaoni kama ni GBV.
Okay.
I'll give an example, a very small example. Kama catcalling. Catcalling in itself is violating the person you're catcalling, because in the event yenye amekata maybe to respond to your advances and unaanza kumtukana, sometimes unamwassault, sometimes unampiga, but people think catcalling is harmless. But to some people, hiyo ndio kitu inafanya hata hizi toka nje in a way, because then the self-esteem is put to the test. There's like public humiliation and someone feeling like they're not enough because of what was said. Another thing could be groping, mtu kukushika tu, the harassment. Kwanza watu wa matatu.
For real.
Lazima tu make it to the list. So I feel like these things watu wana perceive as harmless. Mtu kukuvuruta kwa barabara, kukuspank, kukugrope, I feel kama ni big deal, and I feel like tumezoea tunafanyanga, but in a way in itself you're violating the person. So I feel like kuna some normalization of violence in our communities.
June, I feel like she has read my mind. But what I can add ni like GBV in our informal settlements imekuwa like the bruises, the wounds that we see on people's faces, the physical violence, but it is not defined deeper, that it is not just the physical violence peke yake, but something like emotional violence, economical violence, unaona. So like it has just been normalized like that it is only physical violence peke yake, but the emotional and the economical violence ni kitu yenye inaendelea. So nikirelate na the work that I do in Kariobangi, we have been reporting a lot of cases of GBV, but it is just, when we report it is physical abuse, rape, but what about the economical violence that is always happening daily? Unaona?
Someone might want to know what is economic violence.
So economical violence ni, let's take a scenario where like Aurelia is my spouse, sindio? So daily I'm always just beating Aurelia, namtukana nini, but Aurelia cannot go anywhere because she's tied to me because I'm the one providing. She's tied to me because of that. That's an economical violence in its way. Like I'm always providing for you, kuna something that you are gaining from me. So I take advantage of you.
In the sense that like the other person does not allow you to also explore other means of getting income. Because I've had such scenarios where we had like a podcast sometimes back when we were still doing audio podcasts, and there's a man that said, I cannot allow my wife or girlfriend to go and work. Juu akienda huko kazi atapatana na mtu and then there is sexual whatever. So kama wewe ni bibi yake ukae kwa nyumba, yeye ndiye anaenda, and then that dependency also comes in. You wanted to say
makes sense. I wanted to just add to what Kile Makas anasema, because economic violence is denying someone maybe access to or control over resources. That is very tied together. In terms of opportunities, Kile umesema mtu anakuambia usiende job, yeye ndo ata provide, maybe in a way hakuachido like wewe uko tu, wewe anasema ata provide but wewe uko tu, so you do not have access to resources maybe for food, for you to like take care of yourself. That in itself is economic violence. And then control over resources, and especially kama ni property, ye maybe mumebai pamoja, amekunyima, like yeye ndo anaeka kwa sababu maybe yeye ndio mwanaume, yeye ndo anasema, ama sometimes jina yako ina miss from key documents, ama sometimes wewe ndo unafanya kazi, salary yako wewe ndo unampatia, yeye ndo anagawa. So wewe end month you have nothing, so you really have no control.
That is in terms of the lady ama the man.
Could be both ways. Wewe kazi yako wewe ni kupiga kazi, lakini pesa ni yeye anakugawia. So you really have no control over your money, na ni wewe umeifanyia kazi.
The reason why I was asking that because na feel like it is always like ni men ndo amekwaga tu, they have been the victims of that.
It can go both ways.
Actually that's why you're here, so that we show it can go both ways. Do you think unaweza kwa in a situation where you're acha nisiulize hivyo. Do you think men can be in a situation where they are going through economical violence?
Me? Yes, because kuna kitu inaitwa extortion. Nataka kutumia na ujuvi. Like tuseme on my own scenario venye mimi naona, like I can be dating you for some few years, nimefungulia biashara nini, then all of a sudden una change. Naona, what do you think that you wanna describe that situation?
As in
like haunitaki nini, like things are just changing. But unaona in the long run when you leave, that man anakuja na kwa na
okay, now I get it. So from an aspect of extortion, and also if a man supports their partners to run something, and then all of a sudden sasa juu msana ameshafika level fulani, anaonyesha huu madharau ama anaenda then but someone might say, Aurelia, mimi tu niende nifanye kazi and then I give you my money. Why? So someone might be wondering, sometimes when you talk about examples of violences, someone may not really relate. How do I even give you my money and I'm the person that I've worked for it? Or how do we come to a point now we are sharing my income na ujeenda kazi?
For GBV to happen, kuna kwangana something that has to be there.
Okay.
Power dynamics.
Aha.
In as much as tunataka kufikiria like power is about presidency and politics and everything, but kuna situations zingine zenye someone always has power over you. And then GBV haihapeningi tu. There's like a bit of conditioning that goes into it. Hata watu wakisema unapigwa na unakaa, like mbona unakaa, it's someone who has broken you mentally and how you think about yourself for years and years, so much so that hata akikupiga, it's the least that they have done. Like
they've done
like
worse
hata
things.
umeshaniambia worse things, I feel worthless.
Okay.
So ndo ifike point yenye someone is giving you their money. We've always been conditioned mwanaume ndio kichwa, yeye ndo ana make decisions. Hata kama uko na pesa yako, uko na kazi yako, wewe jua tu bado uko chini ya mwanaume, bora uko kwa ndoa. Wewe sisi kazi yetu ni ya kufunikia mwanaume aibu, na ndio maana you've had ladies say ilifika time ya kulipa bill, I passed him the money because he didn't have. So feeling like I do not want to embarrass this person because apparently he is the head of the home and they will treat him some kind of way wakijua he is not providing. So akikwambia leta pesa yako tupange, you don't feel like it's something out of this world, because you've already been conditioned. We kazi yako ni ya kumfunikia aibu, watu wasione hajitumi, unalinda boma, we shikilia. So even if this person is treating you like trash, and even if you feel like in a way you are being extorted, kila amesema, because why will you be the one working all along, alafu pesa yako unapelekea mtu mwingine ndo apange, and in some instances yeye hata have make effort to bring something to the table. Unajua kuna mtu mwenye unaona tu like anajituma but haitoshi, but kuna mtu mwenye amedecide wewe kazi yako ni ya kunitafutia, mimi kazi yangu ni ya ku make decision where the money goes. So there's that conditioning and power dynamics. You feeling like this is maybe my partner is on top of ako juu yangu in such and such a way, kama yeye ndo ana provide like ako juu yangu, but I have to bring myself down ndo asione kama mimi ni kichwa ngumu masiniache. So you also conditioning yourself to feed into to fit into the box that is then acceptable.
Okay. And that will lead to a question. Where do we draw a line between like now supporting your partner to like tolerating violence? Because there are some scenarios where someone will say, oh, the examples of utaki kufunika aibu na unapea your husband or your wife money uko chini so that chini ya meza. There's some people that praise those kind of situations. Oh, this woman is supportive, or this woman is taki kuonyesha the husband does not have or the wife does not have. So at what point do we draw the line between now being a supportive wife to being someone tolerating violence?
I'm really curious to hear her answer.
Because I know, I don't know why, but I've been listening to conversations of married people. I don't know why. I'm getting married soon, but there's a couple, they are Nigerian couples. They are actors actually. Maybe you know them. Daniel Etim. Someone, a Nigerian actor. And they have a conversation with the wife, or now they're navigating through marriage, and then they brought a guest, a therapist guest, to now talk about things that are happening in marriage, and people are normalizing it. And that lady was saying, in Nigerian concept, women have normalized the aspect of being in tolerating pain in the name of supporting their marriage, because the society expects them to be the ones to make sure that marriage do not break, do not work. And you see in that culture where when you marry a man, that man is like your Lord.
My Lord.
Yes, you are Lord. So whatever the man says, whatever the man wants, that is what you are supposed to do, regardless of how you're feeling about it. So that is now a question. Now, how do we now know if he respecting or supporting this marriage man as an?
I will want to believe deep down when something happens, in as much as you've been conditioned and their thoughts and their culture and whatever, people who fail. If someone does something wrong to you, always fail. And if it gets to a point where you are the one working again, access to and control over. You are the one working. There is money, yes, and of course, tumeamua supporting each other, but you cannot get money to do even the most basic things for yourself.
Okay.
And you cannot also, sawa basi nimeleta tunagawa, but I have no say in which portion of which resources goes to what. That is where, like, now you know that something is terribly wrong. Because in as much as you're supporting each other, I am coming to the table as an equal partner. So if you're making decisions over resources, then my opinions and views also
I get
matter.
I get it. This is my understanding. Alvin, you'll say yours. According to what you said, it's like now, okay, I'm supporting you as my partner. Like, we are together, right? We are supposed to make this thing work. And if you are not able to work and I'm going to work and we agree that I'm supposed to come and we share this income, I also have to have a say in that money, right?
Yes.
Like, nimekuja end month, nimeleta my money, tunasema, okay, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do. And also, not like now I'm nimeleta money, like I don't have a say with that. That now becomes like
It becomes
also
violence now.
And also, when I'm working for this money, but I cannot even get a bit of this money to maybe do things like do my hair, do my nails, also buy basic things for myself or clothes, because you're the one controlling it. So I think now I can be able to draw the line. That is my understanding. I don't know.
Tukirudia hiyo swali nilikuwa umeuliza.
And remember, we've said it can be from both ends.
Both
Yes.
You know, when it comes to marriage is a very big thing, a broader thing yenye.
Yeah.
If you're not inside there, huwezi elewa.
Yes,
Kweli.
True. So mi nafiligi like marriage marriage has a lot, because marriage, kitu ya kwanza, love inakutaga. If it is true love, it is unconditional. If someone is providing for you, like ameleta do to you, ufai kuangalia like, like is he or she, like, I've given you my money. If I'm the husband, I give you my money, I know that you're going to do this and this, but don't look it like as in like I'm using you or anything like that. When that is when it comes to marriage. But again, but if you feel like you are exhausted, your money is not helping you, please do run away.
Okay, that is from you.
Please, because that is just economical what? Extortion.
That leads to abuse and leads to emotional. Because when you're exhausted,
if you're exhausted, just
it
go.
also comes back. Okay. Ishieni. Okay, I'm not here to break marriages. Actually, when it comes to issues of marriage, nakuanga na less say because I don't know. That's why, because I realized when I'll be doing now this podcast, I'll have to have knowledge in marriage. That's why I've been looking at marriage content lately, sana.
But me know the way marriage is, the way people are raised and are taught to aspire towards marriage is very different.
Yeah.
For men, women are taught to be wives, but I don't think anybody really teaches a man to be a husband. Because from the minute you're young, you've been conditioned to know wewe unaenda kwa nyumba ya bwana yako, ukienda huko na ujui kupika utafukuzwa. Like you're ready, you are very prepared. Unakuwa prepared kama wewe uko na pesa na uko na opportunity ya kumfunikia, wewe mfunikie. But for guys, I don't know.
Are you people like now told how to be an husband? Do you have those conversations?
On my own case, hata nijiongelele, me, I used to see my husband. I used to see my father.
Okay.
Like he was the father figure that I used to see. So whatever it is he was doing, ndo naonaga mimi nitafanya. Naona. But someone sitting down teaching you that this is how it should be.
I feel like also like fathers or like parents should also sit down with their sons to also teach them how to be husbands. But sometimes not all children will look up to what their father is doing, or sometimes what their father is doing might be like the wrong thing, because sometimes we have children that are growing in these violent houses. So if they're looking up to their parents, then that is their father, then that is what they're going to do.
But June, when it comes to when we talk about the violent families, I feel like when the child grows up, automatically, or there's a bigger percentage that akiingilia marriage, that marriage would be very violent.
Yeah.
Because he used to see the father beating the mom, so anajua this is how the marriage should be.
Inafaa kukaa.
But then again, when we are talking about that topic about marriage, we don't talk about the rape that happens there. Because Mimi, I would really love to know. Like, how do I know that I have raped you, Ama? You are my wife, and I have had sex with you.
Can a husband rape a wife?
Yeah.
Or the fact that we are married, it's like consensual.
Marital rape is a thing.
Okay.
Na si ati kwa sababu nilikupea consent mara moja ni lifetime consent.
Yeah, the fact that
But then again, how do you
How
say
do you-
no? How do you say no?
You should be allowed to say no, because there are so many factors that go into people having sex.
Yeah.
And sometimes someone is just not feeling it, and if someone says they're not feeling it, then that should be the end of it.
Yeah.
Because even if amesema yes, that it's because you umemwekea pressure, then that is consent that is not freely given. Like,
Yeah.
just ask. It's
Personally,
as easy
I
as
feel
asking.
like we call those intimate partner violence, right?
Yeah.
The raping. I feel like there shouldn't be, because like I'm married to you for life. We can postpone sex anytime.
True.
Like niko hapa so nikisema no, we can like unaweza
can
kuja
reschedule,
asubuhi ama
sindio?
jioni
It's
or
just
anything.
One day in a
Yes.
lifetime.
But umejua bado, I'm still curious. How do we start reporting it? No. Like, you're going to report us.
there are
then-
no-
There is the
Actually, there are
hapo
no
kuna
structures
shida.
around marital rape. Hapo ndio shida iko. Unaniosa uliuliza bwanako anakuripa aje, bibi yako anakuripa aje. Yeah, there needs to be conversations around marital rape.
Okay.
Because
That's
mtu anafilingi amekununua, si nililipa mahari
Yeah,
kwenyu,
yes,
You should be doing conjugal rights.
Yeah.
But
Anytime, any
still,
day.
Yeah, I get it. So I think going forward we need to also have conversations on how to deal with marital rape. And the reason why I'm talking about marriage, let me now go back, is because we have our young girls in the community who are in marriages, whether they were official or not official, because most of our young girls in the community, they are in, let me say, unions. They're living with someone, and both of them are young. So that's why when you talk about marriage, actually you're talking about those girls that are in union. Au watu wengine wanini sana, saki kusema watu wakubwa. But I can imagine for the if people that are remarried and are of age and they went through the right processes still struggle with marital rape violences. So what about the girls that are in union because of maybe they didn't have a choice, or because they got pregnant at early age, or because they're just escaping another tragedy that is happening at home? Yeah. Kitu kama hiyo. And that brings me to the main thing I wanted us to talk about. When you look at informal settlements, Alvin, kwanza, do you feel women and girls are somehow contributing to violences?
Yes.
It's a comment of, okay.
Yes, I feel.
Hujafikiria hata.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I feel like, cause, first of all, tebu tuongelele the survivors, right? We don't call them victims.
Yes,
The
survivors.
survivors mostly are the women, sindio? So, ukiangalia, if you dig deep into the story, let's just say story moja, kama the video that I was showing you earlier. So you see the woman is contributing a lot. Umejua, like, tunaweza sema, mimi with my character, me I'm a very humble person. I don't shout, I don't do anything. But the woman takes the advantage. Unasikia, mwanaume wangu ni bure. Yani uko nje, like, unasikia jina yako, the wife amekuja kaku degrade. Mwanaume wangu ni bure. But humans have limits. Hiyo ndio kitu ujue. The humble guy one day atakufika into a point that this is enough is enough. Akuja kuchape labda na stool. You fall down.
Nafikiria tu stool.
Sawa. At a slap.
Okay,
Then
yeah.
you fall down. You see, women, I'm sorry to say this, women know how to play the victim. Unakuja unasikia, amenichapa nini, then the case goes to the police. The police do not want to hear that. The story, the other story, ilianzaje. The man anakujaga anashikwa na bebwa mbio shwa. but who is the victim there? Who's really the victim there?
Okay.
We need to ask that question. Who's really the victim there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Mnajitetea.
For me, I would say women only contribute to violence in the instance where they are the perpetrators. Because mi nafeel like kufai kukuwa na any justification ya kuumiza mtu yoyote.
Yeah.
Because then we are walking the very thin line between victim blaming and now holding people accountable. I feel if a woman is a perpetrator of violence, that could be the way they are contributing to violence.
Okay.
And I feel the way also the society is structured is kuna kitu umesema about how sometimes maybe mwanamke ndo amepigana but they believe it is the man who is the aggressor. When people say patriarchy serves nobody, that is a classic case. We want to believe like patriarchy serves men and puts them at a disadvantage, but in real sense it also puts them at a disadvantage because kwa nini mtu akupige akuumize? There was a video going around about this Musa guy and how he's saying when ni mwanaume unarepiwa aje, wanaume huwa hawarepiwi.
Wanawake ndo wanarepiwa.
Sasa imagine such a scenario if yeye ndo umempata kwa gender desk, will he actually listen? Those are the narratives that are peddled around. You thinking that because the woman is weak, yeye ndo anaweza kuwa raped, yeye ndo anaweza kuwa violated. Kwa hivyo mwanaume, because he is the stronger person, ni ngumu sana akwe violated. So me, I feel women only contribute to violence if they are perpetrators. And if they are not, then no.
And juu if nikiongezea, na feel like we need to create awareness when nilianza that GBV is not only about physical violence. In our informal settlements, we are respecting that I see a black eye. Hapo ndo najua that this and this happen. But let us talk about that economical violence, the psychosocial violence, unaona. So like when tulikuwa tunasema the extortion part of it, you have said that are women really contributing to violence? Unaona like when nimekuwa extort economically, then what are the repercussions? Nini boys anaenda through after that, because if I've invested a lot in you then you run away, nisikudanganye, not all men will survive that. Someone anaweza jinyonga. Unaona. So when you are creating awareness about GVV in our informal settlements, it's not only about the physical part of it. But we need to look at it zikiwa zote.
Okay. So do you think when solving cases of you are paralegal, I also believe you deal with these cases a lot. So do you think when you are trying to get justice or hold people accountable for these cases, there should be a conversation of looking at how did this happen, and also looking at, because there was a question, should we also look at the perpetrator at that point, the person that is coming out at the perpetrator at that point? Should we also look at, okay, how did this come to happen? Is this really the perpetrator or something like that?
I think at the end of it all, ni ku hold the person responsible accountable. And that is why I started by saying there is no justification for violence.
Yes, true.
And in as much as tunasemanga ignorance is not a defense. Na ndo maana wanasemanga tu ukidefile someone who is under 18, atitaki kujua kama alikudanganya yako 18, kama ako na ID. The best thing I will say is just when things start getting bad, just walk away. Usingoje ufike hiyo point yenye now you have gone over the edge, because in the event where someone maybe has died, hakuna mtu atataka kujua alikuwa ananitukana, nikakasirika. Okay, the best you can do is maybe second degree uko una intend kufanya, but it has happened, but you'll still be held accountable for what you have done. So if it gets to a point where you feel like this person is not really serving me in any way, maybe messing with my self-esteem, I am getting wounded, my ego is hurt, ishia bana.
And this one is to all genders,
right?
All
genders.
Especially to also men, because sometimes
we go through a lot.
sawa.
Usingoje kukasirika.
Yeah, usingoje
Utafungwa, maisha yako
kukasirika.
isiishe, because if this person dies, then your life also ends.
Yeah.
Utaitoka.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. We won't really want to know, okay, if ilianza hivi aliniprovoke, yani mi nilikuwa nimenyamaza tu, I was holding my cool, alafu akanini sana ndo nikamrushia stool, and then unaweza rusha stool. That was the first time
Yeah, the
ever,
only
the
time.
only time umerusha hiyo stool and then imgonge kichwa na
A pass.
a pass. Sasa people say it was something that was
Intentional. Ulifanya
intentional.
ukitaka.
Yeah. So if you can avoid those situations, because now it's a thin line, because now we start looking at, are we victim blaming? Are we now defending the perpetrators or something like that? So my point will be for either a male or female, if you're in that situation where you cannot take it anymore, then don't opt for violence.
Yeah,
Don't
true.
opt for violence, because you never know what might come out of it. Unaweza kuwa a very cool person but unarusha stool mara yako ya kwanza and this lady dies. Ama for the lady also, you might be a very nice lady holding off money and then you decide to grab back. Atunajua huwa amekuwa akikupiga all along. Amekuwa akikupiga in mara yako ya kwanza tu kamwa fight back. No, and then something happens. So it will be like, yeah.
June, can I take you back kidogo? So you asked a question that should we be looking at the two sides of the story?
Yes.
So relating to kuna case ingine hapa, it was trending on news. The guy that was ali accuse you of raping the daughter. I don't know if you can remember.
Yeah.
Simulisikia story
Yeah,
kama
yeah.
hiyo. But the daughter came of age.
Akakuja
Akasema, my dad did not rape me, but my mom told me to say so. So kesi kama hiyo, how do we deal with it? Is the mom the wrong person?
But sasa, it's what we are saying. It's what we are saying. At that point, after how long did that girl come out?
I don't know, but
10 years or
it took
something.
her,
After
It was
this
a very
guy
long
had
sentence.
sub 10 years sentence.
imagine.
You see.
So who's the victim there and who's the perpetrator?
The man is the victim. The girl is also, I will then consider the girl a victim, and especially of manipulation. And then also the system failed that man.
Yes.
Because ndo ifike point yenye mtu anafungwa for 20 years, money must have changed hands. Because this is something that did not happen. But someone is in jail serving a term. So it means, again, corruption and the system.
Yeah.
So should someone be arrested there again, Ama?
Something, yes.
Something should be
Yes,
done, because now,
that was
the
false
real
accusations.
that was false
And the people
accusation.
who handled that case should also be held responsible.
Yeah. I want us to finish, and one thing I'll comment on that also, there must be a reason why this woman told this daughter to lie on this man. Unaona? So maybe this man and the wife were having issues, problems, and this woman wanted to get rid of him or something like that. So what you're trying to say, if you can avoid some situations and you can walk out of some situations, because hata kama the people walikuja kajua this man did not defile his daughter, but he had already served years in jail. You cannot recover for that.
True.
So tunaweza sema, at the end of the day, we'll come to know that you did not want to beat this person or did not want to violate this person emotionally, economically, but ulisukumu ukafika at your limit. But after tutajua hivyo, after maybe you've served years, after maybe conscious ya huu mwingine ndakuja sema nyewe au kuanga hivyo, or maybe someone has died or something like that. So the end result is not always good. So for everyone, that is for men, for women that are in those situations, okay, I don't know if, because sometimes, I don't know, you really, wanasemanga, we that are saying people to walk out, we think it's easy, and it's not. Yeah. So I don't know how I'm going to put that, so that also we don't look at it from the point that it's very easy to walk out. I know it's not easy, and you said there are factors that leads to that, those scenarios where someone is giving up what they were doing, or someone is like degrading themselves because of something.
It is true what you have said. It is never easy. And someone who is in an abusive situation, usually anakwanga in like the cycle of violence where there is like times when you kuna tension, and then there's violence, and then there are times when it is really good, so good that you wonder hata mbona naenda. Like this person has changed. You know, an abuser is not anakwanga always mask like the intentions. They treat you so nicely.
They are called narcissists.
Yani vile mtu anajipresent up until point yenye anakupiga, you're always trying to get back the first version of that person. And then we are fighting for love. And then umetrauma bond. And then there's other vulnerabilities. Before come tulikuwa tunaongea na kina Marcus, and we're saying something about economic empowerment, and you not having money, have over 4 kids with no money, with no support system, and living is not as easy as it may like seem. And before you get to a point where you have like agreed to live regardless, people need to extend a lot of grace and be able to understand you. Because when you go like caught in the loop, and you're the only person who can put an end to it.
True.
June, if I can echo a point, me, I feel like when someone decides to leave, do we really have a support system? If you go back home, how will your mom welcome you? How will the other society welcome you? Like utaenda home, let's say you are from the failed marriage, then unakuja unasikia hawezi tunza ndoa yake, then unaona there's another issue in your mind. Unakuja sema then your mom start making noise to you like, unanileta hapa na watoto 4, sungekaa tu uvumilie. Unaona those things like those. So unaona,
so you should also create a society or an environment that welcomes you back when you finally take the bold step, because it's a bold step, right? Of moving out of the abusive relationship. And umesema it's sometimes also us when you tuko nje that may really prevent someone from moving out, especially if the marriage union was like a good one. Those
the
weddings that were very good, yani people spent a lot, it was the talk of the town. And then now when you come, people like na ile harusi yote na ile pesa yote nini something, and ametoka. So it also becomes a burden to you who is living also. So also us as the people that are outside, let's make sure, like we've said, it's very difficult for someone to walk out of an abusive marriage because of the reasons that Aurelia has said. So if someone takes that bold step and walks out of that abusive marriage, relationship, or union akiwa in one piece, let's also give that support. And don't give other factors as, why, what happens. Let's not even talk about it for a while. I mean, just welcome that person like nothing happened. Because also starting to ask questions of how did it happen, why ilifika aje, it also brings so trauma. So until this person is ready to talk about it, let's just welcome this person to the society like nothing happened, and let's like continue with life as people living together in the community. Because it takes all of us to end violences, whether we are in those unions or not, whether we are the victims or not, whether you are the perpetrators or not. It takes all of us to end violences. That is what I'll say. What will you say as the last?
As my last parting shot, what I will say, if it is toxic, please do leave.
Okay.
Only that.
Okay. From the main perspective.
From the main perspective. If it is toxic, please do leave.
Okay.
It's not worth it.
I would say it is okay for people to walk out of situations that no longer serve them. See do or die. Okay. Like if you feel like the situation is no longer serving you, you're losing yourself, then that is the sign you need to walk out. And also let us, the ones who are like watching on the sidelines, let us learn to extend grace. We might never understand people's situation until we are the ones that are caught up in the same situations.
Okay. And also one thing I learned in my adventure of listening to marriages, that you don't confront a perpetrator. Okay, what I've learned, that is, I'm taking those opinions to hear. I don't know how true that is. You don't confront perpetrators if you feel, and you also don't just leave once. Like, it's hard for you to live once. So this lady was saying that on the side you can start talking to someone so that you are also able to regain yourself back,
Yeah.
because the way, according to what, the way violence works, especially in those scenarios where there is narcissistic behaviors, this person will make you feel like you're not worthy. There's nothing out there for you. I'm doing you a favor. I've married you with all your flaws. I'm providing for you. There's nothing, you are not going to do anything out there. So you've lost yourself. So the first step is trying to talk to someone, and she was saying to someone, therapy kind of, to someone to make you gain yourself back, to understand, okay, this was me before this marriage.
Yeah.
I was doing this before
Yeah.
this. Because when the reason why it becomes difficult to live, you see yourself as you're worthless, and there's nothing I'm going to do outside there. Even if I leave this marriage, there's nothing I'm going to do. So the first step is trying to recollect yourself back, and looking at who you were before you got into this, and the things you were able to do as a person, and then you'll start to see yourself differently, and then so that when you leave, it's going to also be easy for you as a person. So that is something I've brought back, and I looked at it and it made sense to me. That's why I'm saying, yeah. So I know this is a short episode because we want you to get the message you're trying to say. Thank you for coming in. It's a short notice. We'll continue having these conversations, Aurelia. I'll get time. We have time. We normally have like 2 hours conversation. When you have time, we come and then we just have a conversation entirely, because I believe we need to educate, like Alvin said, educate the community that violence is not just physical. There are a lot of things entailed to it, and what do you do when you need to leave such situations. So for now, that is it from us. Thank you, Aurelia, for coming.
Thank you for
Continue
having me.
doing the good work you're doing in the community. And also, Alvin, continue standing up for the men and also for the ladies, because I know you
welcome.
also stand for both when it
Yeah.
comes to violence and the paralegal aspect.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. Don't forget to comment what you think, and don't forget to also share this video so that other people can also get the information. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. I don't know if it's the right time to wish you a Merry Christmas right now. What time do people start wishing people Merry Christmas? Now,
Decide.
right?
Doing Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Christmas Eve.
1st December is Merry Christmas.
Yeah, so Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year. For us, we'll continue seeing you. I'm not saying this is the last time until next year. You'll see my face each and every time until we hit 1st January 2026. So thank you and have a good festive season.